This is Terry Kurtz online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history. Where is the High Desert Mojave River Valley economy? And Joseph W., where in the world are we?
Yeah, Terry, we recently moved. We moved maybe 1,000 feet away from where we were. So, we've been up here 35 years, and this is our fourth move, and we were at our last location for 13 years. Landlord needed the space, so we moved down here. We're at 12402 Industrial Boulevard, Suite B6. Space is a little bit smaller than what we really wanted. We're looking at a couple of other options, but at the time we wanted to stay kind of within our area. For those that know or don't know, so we're pretty open about it. We were under an NDA with a major public real estate company, Marks and Millichap, through March. So on March 13th, unfortunately, on March 13th, they opted to stop all acquisitions across the country, and it was the Monday right after the Silicon Valley Bank meltdown. We've got a great relationship with Adam. We have a great relationship with Mario Alvarez. It's still a very viable deal. But I think everybody understands, the real estate market's a little rocky right now. The economy's rocky. They just raised interest rates again. We're at over 5.5% of the prime. So we put that off. So where are we in the High Desert and where are we in the Mojave River Valley? I still believe that our cycle up here will be very different than the cycle down below. So if you look nationally, there's the discussion: are we in a recession? No, we're not. We haven't had two negative quarters of GDP. The numbers just came out today at 2.4% for last quarter. We've been as high as 3.2. I think we've been as low as 1.8. Interest rates were just jacked up again. They may do it again. Inflation's dropped to 3%. I think where the challenge is, when we talk about inflation, what they include in the numbers and what they don't include. I travel 12 weeks a year. I'm still working every single day. But I can tell you the fillets that I might get in a restaurant, they're not up 3%, they're not up 12%, they're up 25%. And I think that the bigger issue, before we get into the economy, is that once these prices stabilize, most entrepreneurs are going to keep those prices there, and they're not going to drop them down. So now all of a sudden we've had this shift. So we've seen a lot of strikes across our country in different segments. We're at the writers right now. But I think for the High Desert, when you look at Southern California now, there's only three places to go. You got the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster, Rosemont, Mojave. You've got the Mojave River Valley, Adelanto, Apple Valley, Barstow, Sperry, Victorville, and then the Coachella Valley. And we've seen more new money coming on in this market in the last 3 to 4 years than we have ever seen. You see the continue aggressive acquisitions by Ken Shear, Mark Milikovich of Covington and what they're doing here. On the industrial side, we have about 28, 29 million feet, depending upon how you count, according to CoStar, on the ground right now. We have right now about 70 million feet in the pipeline. So there's about 13 million in the Hesperia pipeline. Okay, there's another 20 million plus or minus in the Adelanto pipeline. There is probably 4 million at SCLA in the pipeline, because Prologis can design things and put them on the shelves all day long. Apple Valley has 20 million in the pipeline, according to Orlando and Daniel when we were out there recently with Doug Robertson, the town manager. And Barstow's got about 5 million in the pipeline. Now that does not count what's going to go in with BNSF. So let's pretend we're on the Cajon Pass and we're driving on up, and we're going to talk about where the cities are. John Ohanian and Silverwood they're moving full speed ahead. Models, they have picked their 5 national builders. They got a great assortment. I'm excited not only for John and for Ray Werta, the former chairman of CBRE, and he's with Beaumont Partners, and they raised the capital, the initial equity for this project, and they're working with DMB and then Terra Verde. But when the 5 builders are announced, there's one that's going to be, they're all great builders, but they're just going to bring validity. So they're now starting to do some soft marketing. I'm getting emails. They're moving along. Ranchero Road is under construction. That $52 million widening will hopefully be done within the year. So that's a real deal now. And I just had a chance to have a cup of coffee with Rachel Molina, the city manager of Hesperia. And as she said, Joe, it's a game changer. So that community right there changes who's going to be able to live and play up here versus having to live down below if you want a better lifestyle. The industrial corridor is doing very well. The retail corridor within Hesperia is doing very well. There's a couple major anchors that are shifting around there. Brandon Boschman's CBRE's got probably the prime retail spot there. He's got some major retailers that are going back and forth. You've got some of the major fast foods that are still looking down there. So they're doing well. You get up to Atalanta, and I think Atalanta is really stabilized. I've got to say that, while I've had some concerns in the past, I think that they're bringing enough money in, stabilized on the cultivation business, that are helping to backfill some of the deficits that they had. They almost had a structural deficit out there. And they've had aggressive developers like Jimmy Prevedian out there that have done real well. I think the Atalanta that the marijuana market has kind of peaked as far as value and price per leasing and price per square foot. Then you move right over to Victorville and what Kim Schneider's doing and Tyson Chase with SCLA, and they've got the crown jewel right there. So they're doing very well. They're great to deal with. They got a great leasing team in Jay Dick and Diedrich Ferris out of CBRE. Going to the east, Apple Valley, we just recently met with one of the state's largest private developers with city staff and the city manager, and they've got 20 million feet that's in the pipeline in industrial in that north part of town. We were talking to them about the Strata project that we've done a lot of work on, where that's at the end of Choco there. So they're looking really good, and then they're still working to get the Sprouts under construction down there off of Bear Valley Road. So that's doing well. You've got some leasing that's being done in Apple Valley down off of Bear Valley Road. I will say this: we're very, very proud that we were selected by Rich Development to take over the Mojave Plaza Center that has Aldi's, Panera Bread will be opening across the street from the college here in about 2 weeks. AutoZone, Wendy's, Planet Fitness is in there. There's a Dollar Tree coming in. There's a Quick Quack car wash, and then right behind that is a 40,000 square foot lot that we can do a build a suit on. So we're really excited to work with not only Joe Rich but Bart Hollander. I mean, they're just great people to work for, and they wanted a local broker. They had Epstein. Epstein's just, one of the tops in retail. Then you get out to Barstow, and Barstow has really, I think, leveled out with what they're preparing for with BNSF. Lena Kent with BNSF has been doing a lot of community meetings. She just did a big one out in Silver Lakes, and she's been meeting with different groups on out there. Willie Hopkins, city manager, and Cody Tompkins, the assistant city manager. They're doing real well. They're working with PlaceWorks on the general plan amendment, and we are pleased to say that we represented Lewis Acquisitions, part of Lewis Operating, on a very large acquisition. It's called an E&A, an exclusive negotiating agreement, right just north of where the house to home to suite is, kind of the backside of the Flying J over there off of Fisher Boulevard where that peels off. That's about a 3 to 4 year acquisition to go through BLM and the approvals and all that. So I was really proud to be able to introduce Richard Lewis, the president of Lewis Operating, 2 weeks ago out there. So that's exciting. And BNSF is going through the EIR process. They'll hopefully have that out to the public, they figure, by fourth quarter this year. So, when you take that and then you couple by the game changer, Brightline, Sarah and Ben and that whole crew, they're really good about keeping us updated about what they're doing. They just picked up a grant for $25 million to help design the Hesperia and the Apple Valley facilities that will embark and disembark. And they recently told me that they hope that they're going to find out their funding by the end of October, which I believe it could be the end of the year. But I really do believe that it's going to happen. I know the Biden administration supports it. I know that Gavin Newsom supports it. So you get you get some of that infrastructure money and some of the money that came out of the rail slot. The high desert's off and running. So how does that work right now? So while the market's slow, we're still getting calls. People still move around. Leases still come on up. So we're not lacking. Activity is not as high as it was. I mean, we're not doing some of the bigger deals that we were. But at the end of the day, I mean, the one thing you learn in this business is there's cycles. There's good times and bad times. When you have good times, you pocket it. When you have bad times, you got to kind of rein it in. So The world's not falling apart. I think that we do have some challenges, nationally. I think that we've got a lot of political infighting. We've got some pretty serious stuff out there. I mean, now you've got North Korea wanting to meet with Russia. I'm thinking, boy, that's not a real good deal. I mean, those two are not meeting because they want to have dinner with Joe Biden, or neither Nancy Pelosi or even Donald Trump. But yeah, so I think that we're in very interesting times right now. I tell people the world's not going to fall apart. Interest rates are going to be up for a while. The Feds are trying to curb inflation. I don't think they've done a great job, but they're doing what they can. And I think that they put too much money in the system. The one thing I'm a little concerned about that hit markets like ours, I think, a little bit harder than some of the inner markets within the inner cities, is the M2 money supply has really been tracking people that got a lot of COVID money. And they were sitting on that COVID money. They might have put it in their savings account. They've been pulling it out. And they say that money is going to be kind of drained by the end of the third quarter. So that's the end of September. So that's 2 months away. So now, and I happen to, I like Jimmy John's, and Deb doesn't. I don't know why, but I like their sandwiches. But they just came with a salad. So he came by there, and there was a real nice manager over there, and asked her how business was. She says it's good, but she says we're seeing people pull back because they just can't afford. So you're starting to hear that. Used car prices are kind of sliding a little bit. New car prices are not as firm as they were. So I don't know if it's a recession or cooling off. I don't know, but I think the high desert. I'm really excited for what we see, and I think that you're seeing people positioned to get in here. Different companies are really starting to position. New money's coming in, so we'll see where it goes.
Thank you for being with us on this Joseph W. Brady online report. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports Activity, your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV. If your vehicle has suffered damage caused by potholes on a California freeway, Caltrans is offering up to $10,000 reimbursement for damages. Motorists who believe their vehicle damage was caused by a pothole which existed due to the fault of Caltrans can file a claim for reimbursement directly with Caltrans, seeking $10,000 or less in reimbursement. San Bernardino County residents need to submit the claim form as well as supporting documentation to Caltrans District 8. No filing fee is required for claims seeking $10,000 or less from Caltrans. Caltrans District 8 is located at 464 West 4th Street, MS 1244, San Bernardino, 92401. Motorists reimbursed by their insurance company may not be eligible for compensation. Only the registered owner may file a claim for damage to a vehicle or property. For more information, please call 909-383-4351. The Bureau of Land Management is seeking public comment on a proposed 5-day temporary closure of Stoddard Valley off-highway vehicle area for the California 300 off-road race. The event closure would involve multiple days of pre-running, a public poker run and off-road festival, and 2 days of racing on a 70-mile race course. Submit comments online by way of fax to 760-252-6098 or by mailing the Barstow Field Office at 2601 Barstow Road in Barstow. The 30-day public comment period ends August 23rd. San Bernardino County programs offer assistance in efforts to beat the summer heat, especially where senior residents come in. Free fans are available for eligible seniors throughout the county. To see if you qualify, call the Senior Information and Assistance Hotline at 800-510-2020. Victor Valley Community Services Council can also provide fans and, in some instances, portable cooling units to eligible seniors. Call 760-243-9646 between 9 in the morning and 5 in the evening, Monday through Thursdays, for more information. As the heat wave persists, residents young and old are reminded to avoid vigorous outdoor activities, drink plenty of fluids, and check on vulnerable neighbors who may not have air conditioning, and never leave children or pets unattended in a vehicle for any amount of time. Did you know that most of our San Bernardino County library branches welcome the public as a safe place to beat the heat? Adelanto Library is open Mondays through Thursdays and Saturdays. Apple Valley's Newton T. Bass Library, Wednesdays through Sundays. Hesperia Library is open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Equally cool, San Bernardino County Museums, and the county is proud to announce the museums have been honored a 5th straight year with awards of excellence from the National Association of Counties Achievement Awards program. The Victor Valley Museum in Apple Valley received 2 awards in the Arts, Culture, and Historic Preservation category for the initiatives Responding to COVID Through a Digital Ecosystem and Mining the Museum for Small Solutions to Big Problems. Responding to COVID through a digital ecosystem speaks to the development of a robust repository of born digital content for the public to access from the comfort of their homes, especially those residents living in vulnerable or low-income communities. San Bernardino County Museum Connect is an at-home learning digital ecosystem housed in the newly redesigned SBCM website, which provides access to digital exhibits, curator blogs, digital tours, story maps, social media, collections, records, photographs, and videos. It is designed as a one-stop shop for all things digital and related to the San Bernardino County Museum. Mining the museum for a small solution to big problems is a popular and modern method to curate an exhibition in which an outside curator or artist receives access to a museum's collection to find consistent themes or objects to highlight in a new way. The museum in Redlands received an award for celebrating and teaching the digging sciences. This involves a multidisciplinary event in which participants are educated on and engage in simulated archaeological and paleontological fieldwork. Participants learn about how to responsibly get involved in fieldwork, fill out simplified permit applications, excavate objects in a mock dig, and submit their finds to a repository for curation. In February, local crime fighters launched Operation Consequences, targeting drug traffickers and lawbreakers possessing firearms illegally. The latest series of raids led to 23 more felony arrests made in sweeps in Victorville, Hesperia, and Chino, July 15th through the 21st. Targeted locations in Victorville were the 14,500 block of Alivada Drive, 13,600 block of Alcona Drive, 13,100 block of Sampras Lane, 15,200 block of Dakota Street, 15,300 block of Nisqually Road, and 16,700 block of 5th Street, and 16,300 block of Fir Avenue in Hesperia. In addition to the 23 felony arrests, 3 firearms and nearly 7 pounds of illegal narcotics were confiscated. The operation's number of felony arrests made since February now totals 261. Operation Consequences conducts crime suppression operations throughout the high desert and in the sheriff's jurisdiction surrounding the city of San Bernardino. Operations include parole and probation checks. There are currently 6,568 parolees at large in California. 534 of those parolees are at large in San Bernardino County. The San Bernardino County Department of Behavioral Health has launched a county-wide campaign to raise awareness about the unprecedented rise in overdoses and poisonings caused by fentanyl. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is up to 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. It is tasteless, odorless, and too small to see. An amount about the size of 2 grains of sand can cause an overdose. Brightly colored fentanyl, referred to as rainbow fentanyl, can be found in many forms, including pills, powder, and blocks that can resemble sidewalk chalk or candy. Of great concern is how fentanyl is being marketed to appeal to unsuspecting children. This campaign aims to educate the public on the serious dangers of fentanyl, bring awareness to the prevalence in our communities, and most importantly, equip people with the life-saving resources available. Fentanyl doesn't care that you are a parent, a student, or someone experimenting with drugs for the first time. Fentanyl takes lives indiscriminately with no remorse. In the past 2 years, there have been over 450 fentanyl overdose deaths in San Bernardino County. Recognizing the signs of opioid overdose can save a life. If you suspect a family member or friend might have a problem with substance use, speak to them about getting help. Treatment can be arranged in different modalities to fit almost any schedule. Counselors will work with you and your family member or friend to design a treatment plan that works for you. When you are ready, you or your family member or friend can call 800-968-2636 to reach the county's Substance Use Disorder Helpline 24 hours a day for a free and confidential screening. Our Victor Valley TV Sports Watch. Victor Valley College Lady Rams from the 2023 season earning scholarships to play at the next level include Jordan Brooks, Division I, Cal State Bakersfield. Mania Willingham and Tyresha Sessions are bound for Division II, Humboldt State. This high-scoring trio led Coach Troy Hall's Lady Rams to the conference championship in 2022, the program's first conference title in 25 years. The 2023 Lady Rams had a record of 20 wins and 9 losses, 12-2 in conference play. Jordan Brooks became the first Lady Ram earning first-team All-State honors 2 years. The 6'3" center set school records in blocked shots, rebounds, and scoring. Former Serrano Lady Diamondback Sydney Lockhart will play next at Southern California Leadership University, a relatively new Division II Christian university in Westminster. Former Victor Valley High School Lady Jackrabbit Jasmine Phillips has received a full scholarship to play at Florida Memorial University in Miami Gardens, Florida. This returning sophomore interviewed at the summer class practice.
My name is Aaliyah Wright. I'm a sophomore this year at BBC, and I attended Oak Hills High School.
What do you bring to the table? What are your strong points, Lee?
I think my most strong points are just my leadership. I'm very vocal on the court. I'm not afraid to help somebody and tell them what they did wrong, and also just my length and creating space on the court.
What are the Lady Rams going to need to do in order to contend for the title?
I think this year we're just going to have to be very headstrong. We're not as headstrong as we were last year, so we're just going to have to stay strong and hold each other up because we don't have as much athletic players this year, so we're just going to have to be very smart on our plays.
The county's Liaison Education and Risk Network class, LEARN, is being offered to educate food operators on food safety. LEARN is a free training class based on the fundamentals of active managerial control and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's risk factors that lead to foodborne illnesses. The class is designed to educate operators on food safety, teach practices and procedures that will reduce foodborne illnesses, and provide a forum to network about various food safety topics. People who benefit include anyone who prepares or serves or handles food and can promote change in the facility to ensure safe food is served. All classes are free. Classes will be held monthly and space is limited. Visit this website to view class dates and RSVP. San Bernardino County birth and death certificates are now available online. San Bernardino County's Vital Statistics Registration Office has launched a new service that allows residents to purchase certified copies of birth and death certificates online. Currently, the service is available for births and deaths that occurred in the past 2 years. Records for events older than 2 years can be obtained at San Bernardino County Hall of Records. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free homemaker services, transportation, and activities for seniors ages 60 and older with mobility challenges. Residents can join the group in its monthly shopping trips where they pick you up, take you home, and assist with lifting and carrying items. For more information or to reserve your seat on the bus, call 760-243-9646. The Bureau of Land Management has elevated its seasonal fire restrictions on all BLM public lands managed by the California Desert District. The elevated restrictions address the use of campfires, controlled flame devices, target shooting, and smoking on public lands. The order prohibits recreational target shooting. However, these restrictions do not impact hunting. These proactive fire restrictions are in place to protect visitors, communities, adjacent private lands, and natural resources from the risk of wildfire. These restrictions will remain in effect until October unless terminated sooner if conditions warrant. The Bureau of Land Management has awarded 2 grants totaling almost $5 million to accelerate the training and placement of excess wild horses and burros into private care. These grants are part of the BLM's efforts to encourage more adopters to give a wild horse or burro a good home. The Adoption Incentive Program provides up to $1,000 to adopt an untrained wild horse or burro from the BLM. The goal of the program is to reduce BLM's recurring costs to care for unadopted and untrained wild horses and burros, while helping to enable the BLM to confront a growing overpopulation of wild horses and burros on fragile public rangelands. Thanks to its Adoption Incentive Program and the online corral, the BLM has doubled the rate of private care placement over the last 5 years. Supervisor Paul Cook's office wants to inform you that vouchers are now available to have dogs or cats spayed or neutered. Residents with dogs or cats in San Bernardino County's unincorporated communities can request a voucher for $50 towards spaying and neutering. To request a voucher, call the Pet Overpopulation Coalition at 888-767-2550 or email the address shown. San Bernardino County's new state-of-the-art high desert behavioral health clinic has opened on Highway 18 in Apple Valley. This 28,000 square foot mental health facility offers counseling, outpatient services, and a 24-hour crises hotline for the high desert community. It will also serve as the high desert headquarters for the county's Department of Behavioral Health. Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Valu Quality Truck Body, family owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest standing full service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Silverwood, the developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community, support the events, youth activities, and programs of our high desert Mojave River Valley communities. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville, the Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley. That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.